and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we tried, bitter the chastening ride, fell in the days when hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat had not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that the tears have poured us. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our Christ star is cast. God of our silent tears, thou who hast bowed us going on our way. Sorry, y'all. Thou who hast bowed light, let us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Yes, y'all got it. Let our feet stray from the places our God where humanity. Let our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. Thank you. I will wear my glasses this time.
You sitting here, brother? That's your seat.
Can I have everybody's attention, please? While we were all standing, can we stand one more time? We all remember our political activist and civil rights activist, Jesse Jackson, who passed away just yesterday. So we will have a moment of silence for him. Thank you. And that goes for all the people in the past too that we can't name all. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll have a presentation from Delaware County Health Department, breast cancer awareness.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come to your meeting tonight. My name is Helen McGowan. I'm the Community Health Planner for the Delaware County Health Department. We will be 4 years old in April. So, yeah. And we're doing a lot of work that was determined by our community health assessment. And one of the primary missions is to reduce the deaths of breast cancer within our Delaware County, particularly with women of color. So we are trying to get more women screened early, because the earlier you are screened for breast cancer, the better chance for a survival. And by 2028, so we did a community health assessment, and then we developed a community health improvement plan. So reducing breast cancer deaths is a primary goal of that. And by 2028, the county aims to increase the number of women who get regular mammograms, especially among Black, Hispanic, and Asian women, who are currently less likely to be screened and more likely to be diagnosed later and have a poorer outcome. A key focus is also on closing the gap in outcomes for Black women aged 50 and older who face higher death rates from breast cancer. By improving screening and catching cancer sooner, the county hopes to save lives and help more women to stay healthy. To do this, the county will start listening to women in the community to better understand what makes it hard to get screened, such as cost, transportation, fear, or lack of information, any barriers that they're facing to get timely screenings. And we also were partnered with organizations like Jefferson Health Services that we provide bi-monthly screening opportunities for women who are uninsured and are able to get a free screening for a mammogram. So we do them regularly, and that's something, we want to partner with Darby Borough to make sure they're aware of these events. But tonight in particular, Ms. Pratt invited me to share information on focus groups that we're developing in the first week in March. And one will be held here in Darby Borough. So there's a flyer that I brought, and there's extra flyers over there. And we are asking to promote these flyers for all the council members. We are looking to have women who are eligible to participate, and who we're looking for is women of color from Delaware County between the ages of 40 and 65 who have either never had a mammogram or are behind on their screenings at least 2 years. And we really want to sit down and talk to them and find out what is holding them back, because that is key to reducing the death rate for early diagnosis. This event, thank you, very grateful working with Ms. Pratt to set up the focus group. It will be on Monday, March 2nd at the Darby Recreation Center from 2 to 3 p.m. And we will have a meal and an incentive present for those who participate. And basically it's just really to learn from women what's holding them back from getting the screening. So I also brought a flyer which is over there, of our services at our clinic. Our Yaden Clinic is right down the road here, 125 Chester Avenue. So we have many services, and even though we're close to being here 4 years, there are many residents that are not aware of the services we provide. So I would ask that this flyer, and I can send that electronically, I believe you have that already. We are promoting it with local churches. We are just really trying to get that woman to explain to us, and based on what we find out, we're going to be setting up educational events to share and reduce the fear, and find out what those barriers are, and our goal is to take them away. So that is why I'm here tonight. I'm happy to answer any questions. If if someone who may fit the criteria for this, on the flyer you'll tell us to call our wellness line here at the DCHD, and they will go over, confirm eligibility and give more information. So we're looking for at least 10 to 12 people. but, you know, we just really feel this is the step to find out what is holding women back from getting mammogram screening. We certainly know lack of health insurance can be a problem, and that's why we partner with Jefferson to offer these free screenings as well. So, happy to answer any questions, but thank you for the time. And, you know, would really appreciate you sharing this information with your friends, family, or anyone you think may be interested in being part of the focus group.
Now we'll have a Black History Month presentation by Ms. Ethel Williams.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Ethel Williams, 234 Marks Avenue, Darby. For those of you that don't know me, I just want to let you know that I'm one of the historical people of Darby.
There you go.
One of them. All right, I just like to, first of all, the display of how Darby looked years ago is right on the table. Please don't leave without looking at those things on that table. And photos don't lie. So that's how it looked, and it may look even better again. First, I like to start with the churches, a light up on the hill. Mount Zion AME Church, located at 1008 Central Street in Darby, celebrating 150 years and still serving the community. Sunday worship is 10 a.m. You're welcome to stop in. First Baptist at the Hill and United Methodist. We have 3 churches that we have been participating with throughout the years. We have some pioneers and leaders that reside in this community that we must honor. We'll start with the medical field. There was a Dr. Leroy Gates. He was our first black dentist. We had Dr. Clarence Guy and Dr. Smith, medical doctors, that was at 1000 Main. John Drew, the owner of the Transportation Center before it was sold to the Red Arrow Bus Depot. His bus company was started in 1930. Mr. Drew was also very concerned with the right leaders being placed on the Board of Elections. I can remember his loud bullhorn going out throughout the community to remind people to come out and place your vote. His historical home is still standing today and is being occupied. Willie Child's Books, BFW 974. That place provided entertainment for the community. Memorial Day weekend was something that we all look forward to. Parade, food, dancing, families returning home for the celebration. Ed Bacon, Richard Spain, Mr. Overton, Miss Mamie Smith, and others were in charge of this event. Darby Protection Officers. We had Howard Carringer, who was a sergeant. Russell Emery, the chief of police. Bobby Wafels and Darryl Guy was also on board. In our musical studio, we had a man named Mr. Freeman that was located on Foster Avenue and Maple Terrace. The funeral directors, Ms. Yarbell Funeral Home and James Hunt. The beautician, we had plenty. Eleanor Stewart, Bernice Bruton, Miss Blackson, Rose Sigger, Arlene Craig, Miss Guy, Joyce Brown, and Miss Purnell. Don't they bring good memories back? I am glad. The Caesars and the tailor shops was operated by Ann Landers, Marie Collins, Miss Stewart, and Gertrude Tiggs. Our corner stores, which we all love, Miss Orr, Brown Store, The Drip Store, Joe Lacey, Herb Clothing, Blackston Bakery, Ida Harmon, she was an Avon celebrity. Nadine had the first hot dog stand. and Mr. Garvin's shop. You remember some of that? Yeah. Under the barber shop, we had Phil Henderson and Mr. Russell, he did it out of his home. All right, under the columnist for the Suburban Weekly newspaper, Mr. Lloyd Thompson, and he was very active with it. And the Princeton shop, Mr. Al Robinson Sr. Under the carpentry and electronic and plumbing, we had Jack Thompson, Pete Thompson, Finney Cuffs, Mr. Downey, he was for the heating and cooling system. Lee Humphrey had a cleaning business. Okay, under the sports, we had Randy Carter, John Macri, and Ed Bolden. Under real estate, we had Bobby Tyler, Mr. Roy, and Harry Hill. Under the senior center, there was Ethel Smiley, who ran the Button Freedom House. And the sheriff of the town was Robert Smith. Under the mechanic shop was Mr. Chisholm, Tommy Lights, Slick Coles, and Proctor. Ministry of Networking was Dr. Paul Siles. He had a King Travel, and he also had what was King's speeding service for travel. Then we come to our general, Ronald S. Coleman. He's our present and our future, and he's the past. These people left a legacy that we can be proud of. No other borough has Darby unique history. Our history is a set we can use. There are ways our past can help our future. In closing, I salute the Borough Council for allowing me this opportunity. And I'll give you a quote from Jesse Jackson. Keep hope alive.
Did we say Dr. Smith?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Smith gave me my polio vaccine. Most of y'all probably had the sugar cubes, but you know, back then they did it with the little needle and all, and it was a little different then.
And I'd like to say thank you to Mr. David King for providing the photos.
Madam Chair, I'd ask for a motion to authorize the amendment of the council borough agenda for this meeting to allow for the voting on ordinances that were advertised. One is related to paid parking in certain borough parking lots along the 800 block of Main Street, and also ordinance allowing the borough to adopt Londonderry Lane, Coventry Avenue, and Shetland Road, and Glen Cove Road as public streets of the borough.
Can I get a motion?
These are properly advertised, and they were discussed at the last council meeting.
So I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Now we'll have public comment. Paula Richard. Please state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
Madam President, I'd like to ask for a little bit more time than 3 minutes because I'm here on behalf of the Darby Library, and I would like to read a letter of thanks from the library, and then I have questions. Dear Mayor Jawar Don, on behalf of the entire Darby Free Library family, we extend our deepest gratitude for your extraordinary generosity in donating your 2026 mayoral stipend to our beloved institution. Your selfless act will have a lasting impact on the preservation of history and the continued service that we provide to our cherished community. As one of the oldest libraries in our country, since 1743, your support helps ensure that our mission to inspire, educate, and foster a love of reading will continue for generations to come. With much thanks from our directoress, Sue Borders, our president, Anthony Santoro, our vice president, Jan Haggis, our treasurer, Gwen Hayes, our recording secretary, Paula Richards, our board of trustees, Tracy Williams, Edna Stockley, Angela Morris, Erica Robinson, Kimberly Ferris, Quincy Stallworth, and Linda Shields, our project historians and managers and grant writer, Harold and Emily Finnegan, our librarians, Joyce, Susan, Marcus, and Frank, and all of our devoted patrons. We recognize the significant difference your gift will make. Your year-long donation is not just a gift, it's a testament to your commitment to education, community, and the preservation of our shared heritage. Thanks to your kindness, we will continue to preserve history one book at a time. With heartfelt appreciation, we thank you for believing in the power of knowledge and community. With our warmest regards and deepest respect, the Darby Free Library family.
Madam President, if I may,
All right,
thank you really quick.
you can go for your, you got 3 minutes, Ms. Brown, for your public comment.
May I say thank you to the library board? Real quick?
Sure, say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mrs. Richards and Ms. Sue, and the rest of the team. I mean, I'm honored, to even be in position to be able to do that. The Darby Library is something that's very dear to me. As I mentioned throughout the campaign, this was one of the cornerstones of my educational journey. So I'm very indebted to the Darby Library, and I think it's one of our most sacred institutions in our community, and I think we all need to fully get behind it for the future of our community. Our kids need this particular library. It serves not just our kids, but kids in other communities. And so there's a lot of history and a lot of resources that's available there that we really need to get behind and need to make sure we preserve that library to the best of our ability. So I encourage my colleagues on council to also please get behind the Darby Library. Thank you.
Thank you. You happily surprised us with your donation, so I hope that we kept this a secret and surprised you enough. Okay, right to know requests. I have been sending them for years. The last one I requested statement of financial interest forms that were filed for all council, mayor, and all appointed officials in May of 2025. All bills from Charles Gibbs and/or McMonigal and Perry, our solicitor, from 24 and 25. The 2023 budget versus actual, the 2024 budget versus actual, and the 2025 budget versus actual, the 2023 audit, the 2024 audit, NROs for all businesses on the unit block of Chester Pike between Lawrence Avenue and Pine Street, and a copy of all rental contracts for the Recreation Center for the 2024-25 years. That was one right to know request. And I did receive a reply from Mr. Pacenti, thank you. He's looking into that to see if it's public record or not or whatever. So he has the 30-day extension. The 30 days is not up. But I will tell you this, and I'm sure the solicitor will agree, every single thing on here is public record, and we are entitled to it, including your bills, unredacted. I've already taken Darby Borough to Harrisburg years ago about solicitor bills, so I'm just giving you a warning. And also, I didn't get an answer yet, but I did request at the after the last council meeting that I would like to see the receipts from the 3 daycare centers that are in the 3rd ward that Council President, you and Mr. Thompson stated publicly that you blessed 3 daycare centers, and you blessed the children of those daycare centers with gift cards paid for by the federal funds for COVID-19, the ARPA funds. So I am asking for all receipts and any and all documentation from your blessing of those daycare centers and children, and I believe the amount was $5,000 you stated.
Thank you. Mr. Keith Hudson. Please state your name, your address.
Hello?
Hello.
22 Mill Street, Darby, Pennsylvania, 19023. And the reason for me coming here, that I always come here, how y'all doing? It's the corner of the record. But I'm reading through the paperwork, and it's supposed to be a bid. It says the minimum acceptable bid is $30,000. When the square footage, what it says in this, is bigger than, and we all know that corner is way smaller than what my property and my garage is. So I'm trying to get where we getting this $30,000 from.
I can answer that for you.
Okay.
The borough is required to receive an appraisal.
Okay.
The appraisal value is what the appraisal value is.
Okay.
That number is $30,000 for the appraisal of the borough board.
Okay. I can respect that. But it says minimal acceptable bid. I thought a bid was it goes from 0
No, so under state law, the borough is required to have as a minimum for the first 2 times they're advertising it, what the appraised value is.
Okay, then the next question I have, it also says it's the most westerly tip of Mill Street. When my deed right is on my property, say I'm the most westerly tip of Mill Street.
So I took the language straight from what the appraisal had from it.
Okay.
So we can take a closer look at the map, but it doesn't even have an address. So
I noticed that it says 1 when I'm 22, and that means it would be on the even side, not the odd side.
that's how the appraisal laid it out for a legal description.
Okay. That's the first time I heard that, and that's the first time I heard that minimum 30,000 number.
That is something that happens with every municipal bid. They can't negotiate with people.
So the bid, no matter what, is 30,000 starting and going up.
That's the minimum bid. And there are no bids that match the minimum bid. The first 2 times the borough advertises, the borough is authorized to negotiate with private parties.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Unfortunately, it's not the first time this council has heard it, because every time they want to sell a property, this is the same process.
I bought plenty of properties in plenty of places, and that's the first time I've ever heard that.
But buying it from a municipal agency, that's what the state law requires.
Ordered from me. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Latoya Black. Please state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes.
My name is Nicoya Black. I live in the Black from Avenue. Got a couple questions. One of my questions is, what is the policy for the code of conduct? Who does it apply to and who doesn't it apply to? And let me expand on that. The last meeting that you all had, I want to know why Councilwoman Stockton, after asking a question, was asked to leave, but Dr. Thompson, who initiated the ruckus, was not asked to leave. Because see, I need to know how I should behave here. I want to know who it applies to and who it doesn't apply to. Why was she asked to leave and he was not?
Did you hear that she was asked to leave?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Okay, next question. What is the attendance policy of council members?
What do you mean?
Do you have a certain amount of meetings that you have to attend? Because see, my tax dollars are paying the stipend.
No.
Hold on, dear. My tax dollars are paying for the stipend. And if a person is not here, then I want to know why are they being paid?
There's no attendance law.
Oh, you can just get on council and just be absent and
There's
in
no
the town that you
attendance
want?
law.
Okay, so you can be on council,
There's no attendance law. He asked about attendance. There's no attendance law.
So my question is to you, so you can just be on council and be absent as many times as you want, yes?
There's no attendance law.
Okay, my next question is, what are the requirements of residency to be on council? Hello?
You said the requirements.
Yes.
You have to sign, you have to get petition, you have to go out there, you have to
I'm
campaign.
saying, what are the residency requirements?
Oh, yeah, you're supposed to live in, yes, absolutely, you're supposed to live in that borough or township.
Okay. Also, I wanna know who paid, what tax dollars paid the solicitor to put in a resolution for, a room for the, mayor. I wanna know, according to past practices, all the other mayors have had offices. And I would think that a mayor would have sensitive and private issues that need to be addressed in a private setting. So I would think, this is just my opinion, that the mayor, according to past practices, because all the ones prior to this have had an office, so why does that not apply to him as well?
It does, he has office space.
No, the other mayors have
He has
offices.
office space.
Okay, but my question is that why, according to past practices, why doesn't he have an office as well? Not office space, an office.
There's nothing written that the mayor has to have a private office.
Okay, well, is there anything that is written?
There's nothing.
Okay, well, is there something that's written that states
Thank you, I
that the
can
council?
talk to you afterwards, your 3 minutes is up, thank you.
Really?
Thank you.
This lady, Sheila,
Y'all see this?
Yeah, we see it.
Y'all see this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where it's going.
You know what? I'm going to leave because I don't want to, I'm going to leave because I don't want to say what he said in the meeting. So I'm going to leave because I don't want to snatch shit out of him.
No, I know that's.
Okay?
Hey, council and citizens of Darby, hello.
How are you?
I am aching like bacon. I was trying to get a snack before this meeting, but I knew I wasn't gonna get it. And, happy, Black History Month. That was a wonderful presentation, Sister Ethel, and, nice gentleman with the wonderful pictures. And look at my shirt, y'all. This is like Harry, that's me, and all this other kind of stuff. This is from Foreman Mills last year. That's why it's kind of snug. They represent Black history. But anywho, citizens, I gotta make it quick because I don't feel good. I got that cold. This phone number, 844-402-1001, is a number that you can call APW, that's my union, post office union, and they will direct you to 2 Congress people. What I want you to do is call this number, and they're trying to privatize the post office. We don't want that. We don't want them to tell us how much stamps should be and blah, 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 blah. And you know the evil one, he never did like us. So y'all call that number and tell them Congress people. And you can get it from me after the meeting. And also, I want you to call that number and you have to state, you say no to Bill HR 22. That's a bill about voting. They're trying to try all this crap mess with your name change. Like, you know, if you got married and you don't have your, you know, that just, if it's not the same as your registration form, they're going to try to get us. And now they're talking about we need passports to vote. I don't even go nowhere, so I don't need no passport. So y'all gotta call that number. I got another number for you too, to tell them, no, we don't want that crap. We just want to vote, and that's all to it. And stop all this crap mess. Now, and another thing. Now, we already got this evil orange guy in the office trying to divide us. As the borough of Darby, I want us to get along. We have to get along. And please, let all this pettiness go out the window, because next thing you know, we're going to have a no democracy. And y'all know y'all can't hang with no democracy. You want to do what you want to do. So in order to do that, you got to register people to vote, and you have to get along. Okay? It's not that hard. So do it. Okay? Thank you.
Good evening, council, mayor, Darby residents. I am Susan Wooders. I currently live on 503 Providence in Albany. I've supported Darby Borough for the last 40 years, first living on Poplar Street and then the director of the Darby Free Library. I'm here tonight to directly address comments made by Dr. Omar Thompson at your last meeting. During a discussion regarding an event the Darby Library was requesting at the rec center, he stated that I come to council last. That statement is inaccurate, and I believe it is important to correct the record. I began my request by emailing council members representing the rec center on January 29th. One of the emails was returned. I asked Mark to please forward it to the right address. To this day, I haven't gotten a response. I also haven't heard from any of you whether you were attending the legislative breakfast. The timing of the building, the improvements are difficult to organize. Through my work at the library, the improvements, I understand how uncertain construction is. I'm aware that other organizations requested time. They were offered assistance in finding new locations. I request that you offer the same thing to the Darby Library. Also, Darby Library's recreation areas will probably be finished, which means your programs could be at the library and not canceled. And on the topic of fundraising, I notice a real negative attitude about going outside the Darby Borough. It puzzles me. Al Robinson collects funds at the VFW, for the VFW at Booth's Corner. That's in Bethel Township. Additionally, communities such as Cowin and Alden do not have a designated tax. They only contribute very little from their county tax. They use our library. They use all the libraries. I believe they should give more, and that's why the fundraisers in their neighborhood, so they can give. Finally, Omar, I initially believe you said Sue doesn't put libraries first. I later understood that you said she doesn't come to me first. Regardless of the interpretation, the statement questions my integrity, my commitment to this community, and after more than 4 decades of service, I find that I'm deeply concerned and hurtful that you would say such a thing. Can you please explain to me where that came from?
Miss Sue, you can talk to him after the meeting.
No, he publicly insulted me. I deserve a public apology. I know, I got the timer, I'm done talking, I'm waiting for
Thank you.
Omar to speak.
No, he's not going to speak. Thank you.
You speak for him?
I know.
Mr. Colin Chambers?
Oh, wow.
Very, very hurt that you, Omar. You were on our board. You hugged me at the event. And you sit there in silence and insult me.
Miss Sue, you can speak to him after. Mr. Colin Chambers, state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening, members of the Borough Council. My name is Colin Chavis, and I am the owner of Chavis Custom Contracting and the property located at 3 South 5th Street, Darby, PA. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you again regarding my request for the addition of a no parking space in the front of my property. I appreciate the Borough Manager, Mr. Crescenti, for his recent update on the status of my request. I understand that the review process is ongoing and that, if approved, the no parking space may not be implemented until early spring. I want to express my gratitude for the time and effort being dedicated to this matter. As I've shared previously, the addition of a no parking space in front of my property is critical for safe and efficient operation of my contractor warehouse. The current lack of unobstructed access to the front entrance continues to create challenges for my business operations, disrupt traffic flow on South 5th Street, and poses safety concerns for pedestrians and vehicles. I am committed to working collaboratively with the borough to ensure that this request aligns with the community's goals and zoning regulations. I believe this adjustment will not only benefit my business, but also improve overall safety and functionality of the area for residents and commuters. I kindly ask the council to prioritize this request and consider the positive impact it will have on the community. I am happy to provide any additional information and documentation needed to support the review process. Thank you for your time and consideration. I look forward to continuing to work with the borough and find a resolution that benefits everyone.
Thank you, sir. Daniel Johnson, I don't know what's his name.
Yes, you said it right.
State your name, your address, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm Sandro Johnson. I live on 314 South 7th Street. I've been a resident of Darby for the last almost 25 years. I'm here purposely to direct my question to you, the council president, Madam Pratt. There has been a lot of speculation in the community that since the mayor took over the team, there is no teamwork and collaboration between the mayor and the council. Besides, a few days ago, I watched a video where a council member was publicly heard making threats against our mayor. Under your leadership, what are you doing to ensure that this mayor will work efficiently and make sure there is peace on your team?
I'm going to read the mayor's president's report, so that will probably answer.
All right, just another follow-up.
Go ahead.
There was somebody here who asked a question about why the mayor doesn't have an office in Darby. And you rightly stated that there is no law. But what is the best practice? And if I recall, the previous mayor had an office. So why the current mayor doesn't have an office space here?
I can talk to you. Let me say this.
No, but I want you to address the issue, not privately.
This meeting, no, it ain't about privately, so everyone understands. This is our voting meeting. This is our business meeting. We can't have a dialogue back and forth, but I'm happy to talk to you anytime.
But it's a straightforward question. What are you doing to make sure that he has
This is for
space
public
here?
comment. It's not for dialogue to go back and forth.
There's no rule that says
Any
that.
questions
So
that
why
you
don't you
want,
put the public comment
like
at
to
the end
meet
of the
with me or
agenda?
anything like that, okay? But it's a voting meeting. It's a public voting meeting.
Wrong.
All right, so can I make a recommendation to you?
Sure.
So maybe in the future, just for transparency's sake,
let the public comments be held at the back, so that way, after your business section, then you know you can address those concerns.
I don't know if you know, we have a committee meeting the first Wednesday. And at that committee meeting, the public is welcome to come, say what they want to say, address us, and we can have a dialogue back and forth. This third Wednesday is for a voting meeting on what we discussed the first Wednesday. It's not that we don't want to answer your questions, it's
On
public
matters that are
comment,
on
it's not a
before
public
the
debate,
board.
it's
That's
not
the
a
sunshine
public
law.
discussion.
Mr. Solicitor, you know that.
All right. I appreciate you talking to me, but I would ask that at some point in time, we need to know what's going on. Because I think it is not fair, not only to him, but the voters who are out there voting for him, and we want to make sure that he's doing his work.
Right.
I mean, and I don't think it's fair that all of you have office spaces here, and this young man has to work from home. We did not.
He doesn't have to work.
Yeah, but we did not elect a mayor to stay home, so he needs to be in
announced that
here.
he opened up his
All right, but I
home.
yield back to the next
He
person.
opened up his home. Thank you. Is it Paul Payne? Please state your name, your address, and you have 3 minutes to speak, sir. And I don't want to cut you off, but it's a 3-minute limit, okay? So you understand. It's a public comment, it's not a debate. You're free to say whatever you like, okay? Thanks.
My name is Paul Poyadino, former resident of Darby, used to live on 5th Street. I'm currently living in Auden on Holland Avenue, on Telecast South Holland Avenue. I do have 2 questions for you. So my first question is, how does the city ensure that residents' constitutional rights are protected during ICE operations? This question comes about because every now and then we see ICE operations in Soda, and quite recently there was another operations in Upper Darby. So why are the measures that this council or the council members are putting in place to protect constitutional rights of members?
I would probably let our chief answer that.
You confused.
I don't have enough information for me right now to answer that question. It's something I would have to do a little more research on. I understand what the concern is, and I pay attention to what's going on in the country and what's on the news. So I would need more time to research it. I think once I research it,
Okay, but that's may I add to that? I'm sorry, the mayor manages the police department, and so I've been in conversation with our chief. We haven't discussed this particular issue just yet, and I've been attempting to, because other municipalities in our county have already adopted resolution, have already strategized and figure out how they're going to move forward should this come at our front doors. ICE is already in Darby. I've reached out to my colleagues. I wanted to have conversations regarding this. I understand your question is to the council president, but the reason there's not an answer is because we haven't met to even have those discussions yet. So we can't have those discussions when nobody wants to meet with the mayor.
Oh, wow.
So unfortunately, that's why we don't have a response from you yet.
Oh, wow.
Nobody want to meet with the mayor?
Yes,
sir. Okay, my next question, I'm going to introduction anyway. I'm the president of the Pennsylvania Community Sports Association. I just got elected. I'm asking the question because I'll be leading a group of people with soccer background. So I want to know from the ICE operation that we always listen in Minnesota District City. You always ask the questions, are you a U.S. citizen? Are they simply telling us only U.S. citizens should be residing in the United States? Whereby there are people coming from different countries with authorized visa from the U.S. embassies. And there are people with work permit issued by government around here. But our famous questions are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have anything put in place to kind of answer the questions as to whether resident must be U.S. citizen or legal residents.
No, we don't. Like he said, we haven't even discussed, there is no demand for a meeting yet, but we haven't had that conversation, okay?
So how do we get answers from them?
Say it again.
How do I get my answers as I leave here?
When they ever meet. They don't meet.
Say it again, sir.
How do I get my answers to the question I'm asking?
Oh, they don't have an answer.
You don't want to meet with the mayor.
Okay, they'll set up a meeting, like he said, a meeting hasn't been set up. So once they do, have his information, he oversees the police department, and this is the chief who runs the police department. So once they request a meeting, they'll probably get together and meet, and then bring that information to the council, okay? And we'll have a better answer. So it hasn't happened. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Our first NRO is Mr. Abdullah here. Mr. Abdullah, Ali Abdullah. Mr. Abdullah. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Mr. Kamara. Mr. Kamara here. Mr. Kamara. Mr. Kamara. Oh, you okay?
Okay, we'll move on to the engineer's report, Mr. Mulvaney.
Good evening, everybody. I'm filling in for Mr. Moreno. The engineer's report for the month of February. Beginning in March, the following projects are expected to begin. New Walnut Street and Greenway Avenue, curb cut branch, milling and resurfacing. New Walnut Street, the storm sewer and inlet replacement. North 2nd Street, curb cut ramps and milling and resurfacing. We just held the pre-con meeting with the county. The curb cut ramps will be installed first and the milling and resurfacing will follow. Things that have slowed us down this year is the unexpected cold this winter. It's been much colder than usual, and obviously the snow. 14th Street sanitary sewer improvements. That project is completed, and we will be building and resurfacing that carway shortly. 12th Street sanitary sewer improvements. There's a motion under new business. We need to raise one manhole on Lansdowne Avenue at 12th Street, and then we'll begin the project there. Liquid fuels, the ordinance to be discussed.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose.
Streams, rapid snow melt could have significant impacts on the water quality of streams. The runoff from melting snow can carry pollutants from the surface such as dirt, debris, chemicals into the streams. This can lead to increased turbidity, suspended solids, and other contaminants that can harm aquatic life. Additionally, the rapid flow of melt water can overwhelm natural drainage systems, leading to the erosion of sediment and increased sedimentation in streams. This can disrupt the flow regiments and disrupt the ecological functions of riparian habitats, jeopardizing the resilience of these ecosystems, as the engineers report.
Thank you. Now we have the President's report. This month, I want to take a moment to recognize the outstanding work of our Code Enforcement Department and our Borough Manager for the important role they continue to play in supporting business activity here in Darby Borough. Their responsiveness, their professionalism, and willingness to work collaboratively. Work together with both existing businesses and new investors, help ensure that Darby remains a place where commerce can grow while maintaining the standards of our residents deserve. Economic vitality in a borough like ours depends not only on attracting businesses, but on helping them navigate the regulatory process efficiently and fairly. Our code officials have demonstrated a strong commitment to clear communication, timely inspections, and practical problem solving. That approach fosters compliance while also encouraging entrepreneurship and reinvestment in our community. I also want to acknowledge the borough manager's leadership in coordinating departments, responding promptly to inquiries, and ensuring that business owners receive consistent guidance. That level of accessibility sends a clear message that Darby is open for business and serious about supporting responsible growth. As we continue working towards revitalization and sustainability, development pertaining to this responsive solutions-oriented posture will be critical. I encourage all stakeholders, business owners, residents, and borough officials alike to continue to work together so that Darby remains both business-friendly and community-focused. On behalf of the council leadership, thank you to the Code Department and the Borough Manager for your continued dedication to the Borough of Darby and its future. We appreciate you.
Can I say something?
We already had public comments, sir.
No, because I'm hearing, I'm sitting here.
I'm speaking and we already
I
had public
understand, but you
comment.
were the prison for the
Dear Darby
for no
Police,
reason.
during one
You
of the
don't do the
most
job.
painful moments of our lives, your presence became a source of comfort we will never forget. The time you spent with us, your visits, your conversations, and thoughtful donations brought light into a very dark season. Each gesture helped us take one step towards healing after the loss of my husband. Your kindness was beyond measure, and your support carried us in ways words can barely express. Thank you for standing with my family, for showing up with compassion, and for reminding us that we are not alone. And that's from Miss Esther Lights. I have one for Darby Borough Council and Darby Municipal. And it's all for Miss Esther Lights on the passing of her husband. Thank you, that's all. We'll have the mayor's report, Mayor Don.
Thank you, Madam President. Our last council meeting, I made a suggestion of, and send the minutes of live streaming these meetings. This was something that was already, I'll reiterate again, this was already voted upon, administrations way before me. So there's already a budget in place that was already, set in stone. This previous council already agreed to do this. And so I'm bringing this back again to the forefront. Residents are asking me about transparency, about access, about what's going on in their community, and a lot of them are not privy to what's going on. A lot of them are not aware because some of them can't make the 7 p.m. meeting. Some of them work overnight, some of them are working night shifts. It's 2026, as I mentioned last time. We have to tap into technology. We have to other municipalities are doing it. All of our neighbors are streaming their meetings. And Darby, once again, has already approved that we do that. And so, Madam President, I would appreciate if we can have that on the agenda for our next meeting, or maybe on our committee meeting coming up on March 4th, and for our council meeting on March 18th. I think it's imperative that we give our voters those opportunities to tap into their local government, so they know what's going on.
Thank you.
I also would like to suggest that, well, I know I made some remarks in the last committee meeting and the last council meetings, but I looked at the minutes and I'm not seeing some of those things reflected in there. And I particularly said those remarks and made those comments because I wanted them to be on record. So I'm checking the records now. When I see these minutes, I'm not seeing certain things there. So I understand Mr. Vicente is busy with, everything he does for our community. So he may not, have the capacity or the bandwidth to accurately type agenda items or minutes as they actually happen here live. So I want to give Mr. Vicente the grace of maybe he's just busy and occupied. So there may have been some accidents or mistakes, but certain remarks I made, like the specific remarks were Councilor Tracy Holmes and Councilor Edna Stockley. I believe on the committee assignment that you did, Madam President, I mentioned that I found it particularly peculiar that they weren't on other committees. They were only on 2 committees, as I mentioned last time. They were only on one committee, which was, just a second, Madam President. They were only on one committee, which was library. I mentioned in that meeting that I didn't think that was fair or appropriate, as I suggested that I believe that was political retaliation. So I think there were about 5 other committees. Other council members are on at least 3-4 committees. And I thought it was noteworthy that the 2 council people that happen to just be on one committee are the 2 council people that are also excluded from everything that happens in Darby Borough.
My response is at the
Hold on, Madam President. Right, you did. You said your response was.
Is at the discretion of the council president.
So I understand that, which is why it's kind of bothering to me that you're deciding that these particular 2 people. Hold on, Madam President. Hold on. This is the president's report. Hold on. The 2 people. This is the mayor's report. I'm sorry. The 2 particular council people that you have political differences with are the 2 that are being subject to one committee. And hold on, Madam President, they're being subject to one committee. And not only are they subject to one committee, okay, it's at the president's discretion. So are you saying now that because it's at your discretion, you're going to publicly punish them? You're going to retaliate against them?
Before you even came on council, when I first came on,
right,
we were assigned to the library, and that's all we were assigned to. We didn't have a problem.
The record says otherwise. I'll check the committee assignments for the last couple of years. It says otherwise.
Do your report, because it's not.
Okay. So I just want to note that I've checked the records, and it says otherwise. That was not the case. You guys weren't on just one committee, and so these particular 2 council people being retaliated against. I think it's a major disservice to our community because these people were just as much voted in, just as much as any one of us. So they're just as much a voice for this community, just as much as I am or any one of us are. I would also like to suggest, given the discrepancies in the minutes and what actually happened in our last council meeting, I would like to bring forth there are softwares available that other municipalities are actually doing this. There are AI transcribing softwares that we can utilize in our meetings to be able to basically have what we're saying transcribed word for word. I think it'll save Mr. Vicente some time, workload. It'll free him up to be of more value to our community, and AI services can actually transcribe our minutes. So that way it's accurate and everything we're saying is actually reflected in there. Because right now when I see this last minutes, what I'm saying in the last agenda item, what I said in the last meeting, is not reflected in there. So I want to make sure that moving forward, we can have that. I recently launched a Darby Dispatch, which was a monthly newsletter from the mayor's office. The purpose of that was, I've talked to a lot of Darby residents A lot of them are clueless as to what's going on in our community. And so I champion transparency in the local government. This is something that I believe Darby has had a major issue with over the years, which is why I'm so adamant about making sure we live stream these meetings. We need to be transparent with our people. And so the Darby Dispatch is to do just that. This is going to be a monthly newsletter from my office that's going to alert our community, our residents, on what's going on. And so every month we're going to have, by the grace of God, should the working relationship develop with council, this is something that I hope could be a borough-wide practice in collaboration with council. I've been very busy in the last month since our last mayor's report. Yesterday I visited the Korean American Association Lunar New Year event at the invitation of the president of the Korean Association, also the ambassador of Korea to the United States. Present was a lot of state dignitaries, state senators, state representatives, a lot of state officials, and I was so proud to formally be invited and represent our borough, our very diverse community in this event. I also had the opportunity to recently join members of our community for a viewing of The Art of Brotherly Love. This was a screenplay, a documentary put together about the Genji's family. I'm sorry. They also joined me for that screening, as you can imagine. It was a very, very informative and inspiring movie that is something that I believe I would definitely recommend that all of our council members also get an opportunity to watch that, because especially in the midst of Black History Month, it was really impactful. This was a group of slaves that immigrated from the Western Africa region, came to the United States, and basically Darby Borough was instrumental in helping them seek refuge. And so I think it's imperative that we, as the local government here, watch that, because that's our history. Be proud of it, and also basically make sure our history never die. I think it's an opportunity for us to talk to our kids, our grandkids, about what our past looked like, but also what our future could look like as well. So that was a great showing. I also had an opportunity recently to meet with some state officials regarding conversations about our Darby Creek and some of the issues we've had with flooding over the years. Our state senator was a part of this conversation. I recently had a conversation with police leadership regarding a potential. So the same way I just suggested AI here for us to transcribe our meetings, I had a conversation with our chief and an organization called Police Report AI. This organization is made by a group of retired law enforcement officers who obviously are police officers and obviously have best practices and everything, because they've been in the field. So they put an organization together that basically had this grand idea to help our officer be more efficient. I thought it was a beautiful program, conversation with our chief. We all agreed that it was a beautiful program, but I believe in this moment, I don't know if it's just right for us just yet. So unfortunately, we probably won't be going that route. But I say that to say I'm actively opening my eyes and looking around for resources that our community could benefit from. I recently also, on the 11th of this month, I attended a press conference for WORC. There was almost $5,000 grant donated from Governor Shapiro to our local small businesses. I was there at the invitation of Madam Speaker and our state colleagues, including Appropriation Chair in the state and the Senate, right here in our neighboring borough, Yaden. So there's some grants currently available for some of our small businesses that may need some guidance and some mentorship. I recently also, on the 9th, had a visit from Mr. Kevin Douglas Green. Mr. Douglas Green he is the grandson, and it's very fitting. He reached out to me to meet because apparently he saw my story on the news and was very inspired by my story. And so he reached out wanting to meet and to congratulate me. We did lunch right here in Darby Borough at JD's African restaurant. Mr. Douglas, for those that may not know, he's the great grandson of the great Frederick Douglass. You know, so I was very inspired and humbled that somebody from that kind of lineage was inspired by my work. And I was even more humbled that he was willing to come to Darby and enjoy some delicious cassava leaf with me. I also recently had the opportunity to travel to our state capital for the governor's address, for the governor's 2026 budget address. Governor Wolf laid out a very bold 2026.
You've been busy, yes sir. We got
You're working.
I'm busy, as you see.
Yeah.
Governor Wolf was the one that appointed me to a state committee, so I'm forever indebted to him, and that's why his name never leaves my mind. But Governor Shapiro laid out a very bold vision that talked about increasing our minimum wage to $15 an hour finally. I encourage you all to call your state legislators to make sure we can make that happen. Talked about funding for SEPTA. Talked about so many different things, which you can see some of those things on our newsletters. And as I said a few minutes ago, you know, that press conference regarding those grants stem from that. You know, so this is a very bold budget that the governor has proposed, and Darby is definitely going to be benefiting from that budget. And I'm certainly excited to take more trips down to Harrisburg to do the best advocacy work I can do for our community, to make sure we get our fair share of what's out there.
Let's go, Amelia.
So thank you. I recently attended a town hall for our Congresswoman as well. As you all know, you heard the gentleman just share his concern about federal concerns. Our Congresswoman Mary Gay Scalia recently held a town hall at Widener University, and I addressed a lot of those issues. Our federal government right now is obviously in disarray, that especially for a community like Darby, which is a very immigrated community, there's a lot of concerns here, very valid concerns. I see you, I hear you, I acknowledge your concerns, and I just want you to be assured and to know that I am going to do everything I can do to make sure you are safe and protected everywhere you go in Darby. I'm going to reach out to our chiefs to make sure we can once again reach out to our council and see if we can all get on the same page regarding this. But I do want the immigrant community in our community to know that I hear you, I see you. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you are safe.
Thank you.
I also recently had an opportunity to speak at Haverford College for the MLK Day event. I had an opportunity to speak to a group of international students, political science students, civically engaged students that were interested in this sector, and a group of engaging young adults. And I was so proud to share my story and to offer some resources to a lot of those students as well. All right, and Madam President, I want to briefly address an incident that occurred involving a member of your council at our last committee meeting on February 4th. You know, first and foremost, this situation should have never happened. I believe residents have seen these videos circulating already. You know, Madam President, to you, that situation should have never happened. I think we're all on the same accord with that, correct? Okay. So, you know, I'm a firm believer that government works for the people. We're supposed to reflect, you know, the will of the people. The will of the people has already been solidified by the fact that we're all here. The people voted for us. So everybody here on this particular table deserves to be here. You've earned your seat. The community obviously believe and trust in you, and so that's why we are here. We're all equal. Nobody is subservient to anybody on this council. So unfortunately, Madam President, and I know this gentleman asked, there's a gentleman that asked, and you said you were answering your president's report, but I listened to your report and didn't get a clear answer from that. But to tell you the truth, Madam President, I don't feel safe in this very moment. Last meeting, I was threatened, as you rightfully saw. I think the whole community saw.
It's on my phone.
I obviously had conversation with our solicitor and our bar manager and our police chief regarding this conversation. And I sent it to our police chief, and obviously for conflicting reasons, due to the fact that I manage our police department, I oversee our police department. Our police chief is now letting go of that, and it's been transferred over to the district attorney's office, just to avoid the optics of any kind of interference from the office of the mayor, which I think is very fair and very transparent. But Madam President, I say that to say, while now this is a potentially legal matter, I don't feel comfortable in your council chambers, including right now. I want to know what you're going to do about me not feeling comfortable in your council chambers. Residents don't, besides me not feeling comfortable in your council chambers, there are other, the same incident that happened with me. This was the same incident that happened with a previous mayor. So Madam President, I say that to say, my situation cannot be looked at in isolation, because this is the same individual, Councilor Thompson was the same person who who had an altercation with our last mayor. Now, I find that very troubling that this particular individual who had that incident with our last mayor is now attacking the current mayor. So I want to know, Madam President, what are you going to do to make sure that when I enter your council chambers that I'm safe and I'm protected, just like every other resident is supposed to feel the same way in this chambers? May I get a response?
We'll continue like we've been doing. We have our chief here and our deputy chief here. If you still don't feel safe, you're supposed to.
No, but this is your meeting, Madam President. So when this happened last time, you did not address it in that moment.
That's it, sir.
And you still haven't addressed it.
So you're not going to address it?
That's it.
And you still haven't addressed it.
I may, that's fine. That's fine. That is fine. Madam President, so since we won't address that, I'll just leave that as I feel unsafe in this meeting. And I want you to know.
Well noted.
Okay, awesome. I also want to also make sure that we understand that, for the last council meeting, my president's report, my mayor's report, I'm so sorry. There's a president's report on this agenda now. We've never had a president's report before, but for whatever reason, there's one now, so that's why it keeps.
You're working hard.
We have one now, and it just so happened to be right before the mayor's report. So I don't know the optics of that. It's a little funny, but I say that to say, from since I was sworn in on January 5th, I've been very vocal about wanting to serve our community. I've been very vocal about wanting to leverage my relationships for the betterment of this community. I've done that for other organizations. I've done that for nonprofit organizations. I've secured grants. I've secured millions of dollars for all kinds of different organizations. I want to do that for my community. I'm empowered to do that for my community. And so when I got elected, I promised the residents that I was going to use my network and leverage that to serve our community to the best of our, to serve the community to the best of our. And I'm still going to do that.
Keep working.
I'm still going to do that. But that cannot be done without collaboration from our council. And this is why I'm appealing to you again, Madam President, that you start to please, let's work together. You
can say words, but we need action, okay? It's not
Both ways. It's both ways. Both ways.
So, Madam President, when you say actions, I have valid receipts of some actions that I can give you.
Stop acting like you're the victim.
Okay.
He is.
I was just assaulted at your last meeting. I am the victim. I was just verbally. I'm not finished. I'm not finished with you. You did interrupted me, so if you're done, I can continue. Okay. So Madam President, just to clarify, Madam President, when you say I'm not the victim, it baffles me because I just told you I don't feel safe in your meeting. Hold on. You don't have to respond. I just. Okay. So, I mean, this is already a criminal matter that's being handled by the DA. Correct. Okay. No. I can talk about it. This is. Can't tell me what you're talking about now, Madam President. Come on.
He's not subservient to you.
Come on. Let's not do that.
Come on.
Madam President, I don't think remarks like that should be made in our council. I don't think remarks like that should be in our council. This is not okay, Madam President. We can't conduct business in this manner. We cannot conduct business. I'm trying to do that. You're cutting me off. I'm trying to do that. I'm still going to feel like it's okay. Simple. Okay.
President, you can tell her to shut up, Madam President.
From the very beginning of since I got sworn in, you know, I've approached every conversation internally. You know, when I sat here last meeting and said to the residents, I said to the residents that my office hours will soon be open. Right now, we're just facing some technical difficulties. I said that strategically for a reason. I don't like when Darby is in the news or in any kind of public. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I can't hear you I can't hear myself over you. But we can't conduct business in a manner that excludes other duly elected members of our council and especially of the executive office. You know,
she got to leave though.
That's okay. From the very beginning, since I was sworn in, I was very adamant about the fact that I want to collaborate. We're going on 2 months since I've been sworn in as the mayor. I have not had one single meeting with my colleagues on council. I've attempted, I've called, I've made texts, I've invited, I even went as far as inviting them to my bar individually, you know, just trying to be the bigger person. You know, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm the youngest person on this chamber right now. But for some reason, I still have to continue to be the bigger person. And I'll continue to do that, you know, because I want to make sure that our community get what is deserved. I want to make sure our community is well off. So I'll continue to be the bigger person and continue to fight. But at some point, to my colleagues on council, we're all going to have to get together and decide to work together. Because when we do this bickering back and forth, the people that suffer is the residents. It's not the mayor. The mayor is not the one that's listen, I'm good. I'm going to be okay. Whatever I've done, the title means nothing to me. I've been in the media. I've done stuff with my whole life. I've been doing impressive stuff. Being a mayor for me is not something about being impressive. This is about helping my community in a very crucial moment where they need help desperately. Our community needs this help. And I'm very charged up and ready to make sure we make that happen. That cannot happen with a council that's continuing to try to block every single thing that's good for our community that the mayor is trying to do. That cannot happen with a community, with an administration that won't even respond to the mayor. That cannot happen with an administration that's giving the mayor wrong information. That cannot happen. I was duly elected by the people of Darby Borough. Yes. They elected me for a reason. Yes. And that particular reason I'm going to continue to fight. I've been very clear about that. I'm not going to stop. There's going to be, I already know, this is not, they're going to take the mayor's office. That's okay. Take it. Being the mayor is not about office. It's the influence. I got the people. I got the people. I got the influence of the community, and we're going to continue to serve the community.
Wait for whom, Mayor?
When I found out on swearing-in day that the office of the mayor was now inhabited by the council president, I was flabbergasted. What I did, I went to Mr. Bissett. Yes, that's the reality. The mayor doesn't have an office anymore, and that's okay. Listen, residents, I appeal to you. The office doesn't make the mayor. That is not it. That is not it. The relationships I have in and out of Pennsylvania, what I'm going to do with those relationships for our community
That's what's gonna make our community better. It's not the fact that I go sit in a fancy office. Our president wants the office is hers. I actually had a conversation, Mr. Pacenti, did you and I have a conversation regarding this incident, the office situation? I suggested to you, we both had a conversation regarding this office situation. And in this initial conversation, you suggested to me that, council authorized council authorized that the mayor's office be removed and now president's office.
When did that happen?
Well, he said that, and then I came back the following week and suggested to you that I talked to other members of council, and they told me otherwise. And then you clarified that it wasn't council, but instead it was council president. Am I correct on that? You ended up clarifying.
What I said to you was you had to talk to council about it. I didn't say council voted on it. I never said council voted on it. I said you had to have a discussion with council about it.
No. When I asked you who authorized this, not about the discussion. I initially asked you who authorized this, and you said council. And when I came back and said, Mr. Pacenti, I talked to members of council that are telling me they had no idea about this, you clarified and said I may have misspoke. It was council president. Do you reflect?
No, I didn't say. Hold on, folks.
Okay.
This is honestly, I know I'm out of order by saying this, but this is a public council meeting. Shouting out, yelling, I cannot hear and have a discussion. So please, I'm asking kindly as the manager, can you please keep your comments to a lower rate and just no hollering out. It's a public meeting. So
that's okay. You don't have to answer them.
No, that's fine. Yeah, but I'm just addressing the hollering out.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, no, I didn't say I misspoke. All I did say was I told you had to speak to council about it. That was the conversation.
No, I understand that part, but I'm talking about when I asked who authorized, who specifically told you to move the sign from mayor's office to council president's office. What was your response in that particular moment?
Oh, the comment, yeah.
You said it was the council president, correct? That's all I'm asking. Just say that. Okay.
I'd ask.
That's okay. So Mr. Pacenti, I do want you to understand. Hold on, Mr. Pacenti.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm asking kindly to conduct yourselves in a proper manner.
Residents, please. That's all we're asking. We get through this.
This is for everybody that sits up here and everybody sits out there.
Mr. Pacenti, I want you to understand this. I respect you. I respect the job you're doing. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. And I also understand you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your job, as you know. Let me make one thing clear too. If any resident, but especially employee of Darby Borough, if you are ever threatened by anybody regarding the security of your job, come directly to the mayor. Yes. Nobody is going to fire you for any particular reason because of political retaliation. If that ever becomes an issue, come to me. Please, any resident or any employee, I just want to make sure that's clarified. So, Mr. Pacenti, when you told me that it was council president, and we had a conversation regarding this, I believe you and I came to a conclusion about wanting to, I was very upfront with you. I told you that I wanted to handle this behind closed doors, correct? I wanted to handle this outside of the public setting, outside of the media, because some media had already reached out to me. There was already investigative journalists reaching out to me. And then there was potential conversations about potential lawsuit regarding this as well. I came to you directly and told you that, hey, Mr. Pacenti, I would like us to handle this outside of Darby Borough, because I don't want Darby in the spotlight or in the media for anything negative. And this whole office situation, even though I'm not the one that's getting the backlash, it's still negativity on my community. I am still the mayor of this community. So whether or not we're in the media for something terrific or something bad, I still have to deal with that. And this office situation, even though it doesn't make me look bad, it still makes my community as a whole looks bad. It makes my council look bad. When my council look bad, I gotta deal with that. When my community look bad, I gotta deal with that. And so, Mr. Pacenti, when I said that to you, a conversation with you was, how can we handle this behind closed doors? Was that not it? Did we not have that exchange, Mr. Pacenti? Okay. And so when we suggested to have this handled internally, where I decided to forego the media attention, I decided to forego the potential litigation matter, and also decided to forego potential investigative journalists from so many different media outlets that reached out to me. When I made sure that we did that to handle this behind closed doors, did we not have an agreed upon suggestion maybe about 3 weeks ago? Do you recall our agreement that we came to, Mr. Pacenti?
Okay, so I'm just gonna answer you now.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not sitting on a stand, I'm not in trial right now. All I'm gonna
No,
say.
I'm actually-
No, I
yeah,
know
go
that,
ahead.
but we're talking like, I mean,
Sure,
it's like
sure,
you're a
sure.
lawyer and you're grilling me. So.
Not yet.
So, it was brought. It was brought up, and we had a plan put in place.
Sure.
Of what to do.
Okay.
So, now there's a resolution for
Okay.
council to vote on.
Okay, so was our plan, okay, so there was a plan. Our plan to the residents, I'm very transparent. I promised transparency the whole time I ran to be your mayor, and I'm gonna continue to do that. I went to Mr. Pacenti and had a conversation with him, letting him know, I don't want my community in the media for anything negative. How can we handle this? My exact conversation and remarks to him was, if the council president wants the mayor's office, it's hers, she can have it. Find me another location, I just wanna get to work. The people are coming. I mean, just last week, I had residents pulled up and Mr. Pacenti to my open office hours, and Mr. Pacenti had to tell them, hey, I know that this is the set time for the mayor's office hours, but unfortunately, his office isn't in place yet. My conversation with Mr. Pacenti was that the office that he decided to give me was supposed to be ready 3 weeks ago. I came that 3 weeks, it wasn't ready. He told me the following week. The following week I came, still not ready. It was supposed to be ready this week. I came this week, it's still not ready. So, hold on. Can I just finish this report and then we can, because we still have to come to a resolution. When we come to that, everybody can make their remarks. Let me just finish this. But I say that to say I've been acting in very good faith. I've been trying to be collaborative. I've been trying to be the bigger person. I've consistently reached out, trying to make sure we can all get on the same page. I've asked council, hey, can we go to lunch? Let's have conversations.
He said no.
We cannot conduct the people business with this kind of brutality, with this kind of mindset. We cannot conduct the people. Listen, I'm gonna be okay. Whether or not they take that mayor's office, that's fine. You know, the agreement Mr. Pacenti and I, it's okay. The agreement we had was that office was supposed to be ready for the mayor's office. People are already, my email is blowing up with residents that reached out to me about different issues. They want to come and have meetings. I have different organizations that have reached out that wanted to meet with me, and I've kept postponing it. Just waiting for this office to finally be situated so that we can start conducting business. I want to make sure we understand this. The mayor's office is completely separate from the council. The council is the legislative branch. You know, they make the legislative decisions. The mayor is the executive. Right. No council member unilaterally can make an executive decision. And so for anybody to give permission to our borough manager to say, remove that office, this is now that person's office, that's completely wrong. It's a major violation of the Sunshine Act. Yes. It's a major violation of the Pennsylvania Borough Code. And it's a major disrespect and a slap in the face to the residents of Darby that also voted me. Let me remind my campaign was the single-handedly most votes any single candidate in Darby has ever had. What does that mean? That means residents finally believe in the leadership. That's what that means. So when residents overwhelmingly come out and support somebody, and now for that person, hold on, can we break it down? For that particular individual to conduct the same business that the community voted him for, and he can't even do that because of the political retaliation, that becomes a major disservice to our community. That is not okay. I will not stand for it. Our community will not stand for it. We will continue to voice our opinions. We will continue to voice how much of this is not right, Madam President. Hold on. I got a few more.
Take a water, Bill. Let's go, Bill. You take a water. You should point that close.
Listen, hold on, Madam President. Listen, I say that to say this, right? I say that to say this. Over almost 2 months ago, I found out the mayor's office was took over. That's okay. I brought to the attention of solicitor and our borough president that this was a violation of our Sunshine Act and also our Pennsylvania Borough Code. Would you agree with that? I said that because there was no vote there was no vote. This was one individual that said, hey, do that, you can do that. Would you agree that was a violation of Sunshine? Hold on, Madam President.
Mayor.
No, I didn't mention you. I said, well, no, I meant the bar manager. The bar
Mayor,
manager.
so as not to violate attorney-client privilege, I can't answer a question in public about.
Okay, that's okay. I as the client, I'm comfortable with sharing that. I
our
had that
solicitor,
conversation.
not hers.
I had that
That's the
conversation.
law.
I'm the borough solicitor and I'm protecting.
You are our
I'm
solicitor,
protecting the mayor's
not
privilege.
her personal lawyer.
I'm protecting the mayor's privilege.
Hold on.
Okay,
So,
Mr. Trump.
so
Go
listen,
ahead.
it's okay. Listen.
We pay your salary, not her.
No, you know.
Listen.
Yes, we do.
Excuse me.
So what my taxes do?
Excuse me. President, please, Darby. Listen, I respect Mr. No, it's okay. And Mr. Gibbs, listen, Mr. Gibbs is also a bar attorney. He has to protect his interests. I understand. Right? I understand. Listen. I as the client, I'm comfortable. It's okay. Listen, I've been compromising this whole time. I really shouldn't be understanding everything, but yes, I'm in a position where unfortunately I have to overcompromise, and I've been doing that. But I'm not going to continue to do that. This is going to be a disservice to our community. But if Mr. Gibbs is not comfortable answering that question, I'll answer for him because I was the client. We did have that conversation, and indeed he did tell me yes, that was a violation of not only Sunshine but also of the Pennsylvania Borough Code, right? So when I suggested the legality of that wasn't legal, what they did now is what we're going to see under here under new business. This resolution 2026-002, which is discussing office space in Borough Hall, all this is right now is literally to put into perspective what has already happened. What has happened was the mayor's office has been hijacked.
Yes.
That's already happened.
Yes.
And that happened without council vote. And so now what is happening now is because they recognize that is wrong, they're bringing this to council to vote on it after the fact has already happened. So at what point do we decide, at what point, excuse me, at what point,
$11,000.
at what point do we decide to prioritize the process, the law? At what point do we decide to follow the law, the processes that are put in place to protect the democracy and to also protect this very important institution that's in our community? This is the most important civic engagement and civic institution we have. When I come to this civic place, and I'm sitting right here, and council members are telling me they're gonna slap the S out of my face and then I'm going to the mayor's office and I can't even get in there. At what point do we decide, hey, let's be mature adults and let's work together? At what point do we say, listen, our community is not going to benefit from us just bickering? At what point do we, hold on, Madam President, I'm not done. At what point do we say, listen, I understand, our election happened, we lost, okay, I understand, but that's okay. Let's prioritize the people. Let's prioritize the work. At what point, most of you here was present at my inaugural ball. And if you remember in my remarks, I literally said, as of November 4th, political play and political theater and politics, all of that was over. November 5th is when we got to business. It is currently February 18th. We have not had one business in collaboration with council and the mayor's office yet. At what point do we forget to do politics?
That's because you're focusing on an office. I'm not being quiet. You're focusing on the office. We are taxpayers and we're concerned about bringing businesses here. We're concerned about lowering our taxes here and a road program, not a private office. We're the
Hold on. So Madam President, hold on. Is this not the mayor's report? Madam President, order.
What do you do?
Madam President. You need an office, right? And the office has to be effective and working. Yeah.
But you
It's
took your
not
office.
your decision.
Let it go on the floor for a vote. We have a
Why for a vote? Why should we be for that?
You don't call the rules. That's why you're not on council. You're mad.
Why should we be for that?
You're mad. Okay?
Why vote on office space?
You're mad. You want his job.
Why vote on office space? Is that the tradition?
You're mad.
What Why with him? Why put him out of space? We need a recall, guys. We need a recall. Recall the council president. Recall the council president. Recall the council president. Y'all now we got jobs.
We're going to take a recess.
Yeah, you need to take a recess. You need it. You need a recess.
We're going to take a recess. She's still mad.
Recall, man, you. We're gonna discontinue recall. Council president. You're not doing your job, my president. My president, you're not doing your job. Yeah, you gotta take her in the back. Take her in the back, because it's not doing her job. Yeah, both of them.
Hold on, everybody. It's just going to be a short recess. We'll get back to business really shortly. Give us a few minutes.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm still for the recess. Go ahead.
Can I see the picture, please?
Council is taking a brief
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
recess. Taking a recess. We're going to be back. It's very heated out yet. We got some issues in the Darby Borough area where the new elected mayor got issues with the council. It's according to what I'm saying. We're going to try and go over the law then. But the council is not waiting to work for him. Office is going to be given to him. And so we're trying to make this work. Do that.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose. Take the medication only the way your doctor tells you to take it. And never share them with your family, friends, or neighbors. Know the risks. Stay safe. This message is
You enjoying it?
Not leave this space. They want to stall to make sure y'all leave.
We here, man. We here. We're not gonna leave you, man. We here. We here.
That's all they're trying to hear. Well, she's mad that we beat her in a race. That's all it is. She's mad at her. We got the whole thing. We're not leaving with me. That's all she's saying.
I noticed we recess.
That's where we're in.
Prepare you to go for a recess.
Make sure you interview him after this. Everybody will come out here.
Everything that comes on the floor. I said, your question, trash it all. Yeah, trash it all.
To the Dutch, Swedish, African. Across the Woodward Plateau, down to the Gulf across Darby and Tunisia, on top of the Governor President Christmas.
That's always
Over there.
Now, we're just looking to for the council meeting, this spirit of the whole.
I think it's too late now because he already packed it up.
It's always here.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it another time. But we do need to talk too, man. Me and you. We gotta find time to talk.
In our community, we help each other. But when it comes to prescription pain medication, such as opioids, sharing isn't helping, it's harming. What works for you could be dangerous, even deadly for somebody else. Don't share your opioids. Instead, help by guiding your family, friends, and neighbors to a doctor. Real help saves lives. This message is brought to you by the Multicultural Community Family Services in partnership with LRTN. Did you know 1 in 4 patients who take opioids long-term become addicted? Opioids are strong pain medications like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or morphine. They can help with pain, but they can also lead to addiction and overdose.